But before we end this segment, what I want to do, and on YouTube, this is a totally different video because obviously anything with mock draft in the title gets a little bit more views. So that's what I'm going for here. But I am basically going to be Colin Cowherd right now. And I got a special announcement, my 6.0 mock draft, my final mock draft, doing trades because I'm the only guy doing trades out there. I'm not, but I say that because that's what Colin Cowherd says, that he's the only guy that puts trades into his mock draft.
That's not true.
What I am going to do is I am going to put the graphic up there. We're kind of going to react to some surprising things. Before I get into it, I have to give this disclaimer. If you look at my 7-round mock draft, you go, Ricky, this order is different, explaining the two. The 7-round mock draft was myself as the GM. I am the GM of each team. What am I doing? This one is what I think will happen on Thursday. This is more prediction. My 7-round mock draft is what I would do as the GM. So this is how they're a little different and why the orders are different. But starting off at number 1, I think the Browns are going to go with Josh Allen. They will stick with their guns, say that's the guy we wanted all the way through. That's the one we're going to take. Then the Giants at number 2. Gettleman said they're going to go Saquon Barkley. They will go Saquon Barkley. They're not going to piss off the Royal Manning family. They're not going to piss Eli off. They'll go with Barkley. Then the Jets. This was a tough one for me. They like Baker Mayfield, but I think they're saying that because they're trying to prep themselves for Allen and Darnold not being there. Darnold being available, they got to go with Darnold. He's the better quarterback than Baker Mayfield, and that's no slight at Baker. I just like Darnold more. So I got the Jets going with Sam Darnold. Then the Browns. Baker's off the board. They're going to go BPA, best player available, get someone to match up with Myles Garrett. They will go Bradley Chubb. Then the Broncos, the last team in the top 5, they go Quentin Nelson. They will keep the pick. They will not trade it. Then at 6, I've got to trade Brandon. The Buffalo Bills pick up the phone and call the Indianapolis Colts. They work out a deal. Don't know exactly what they get, but basically in the first round, they're going to give up the 12 and the 22nd to move up to the 6th pick. And they will take Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield will be a Buffalo Bill.
I feel really sorry for him.
Because he's got to go to Buffalo.
Yes.
But the Bills take Baker Mayfield. The Bucks then take Denzel Ward. The Bears kind of have some trade talks with the Cardinals. Nothing gets done. They'll go with Minkah Fitzpatrick. Then number 9, ring, ring, we've got another trade in the top 10. The Cardinals moving up from 15. They are going to swap picks and send some more over to John Lynch in San Francisco. And at number 9, the Cardinals will go with Josh Rosen out of UCLA, trading up into the top 10 to grab the guy who many say is the most pro-ready quarterback. However, he has those, I'm going to say, off-the-field issues with everything that came out via Jim Mora. Then at number 10, Raiders still going Roquan Smith. You've got the Dolphins now. They'll go at Josh Jackson, cornerback from Iowa. Then the first Colt pick rolls around. They don't get Bradley Chubb, boo-hoo, but they will get a really good pass rusher and Marcus Davenport, the defensive end out of UTSA. Then the Redskins, they're going to go safety. Derwin James is now a Washington Redskin. I kind of feel sorry for him. Then the Packers, they're going to go Tremaine Edmonds, the biggest faller from my 2 quarterback trades. So because 2 teams moved up, somebody had to fall. Marcus Davenport is the better pass rusher for me. And the thing with Tremaine Edmonds is will his age, being 19 years old, make him fall a little bit. But the Packers will take him with open arms. Then at number 15, the 49ers, because they traded with the Cardinals, will take Rashaan Evans because Reuben Foster's probably going to get cut. Let's be honest. He's probably going to get cut from the 49ers. They're going to need a new inside linebacker. Then the Ravens go Colton Miller, offensive line to help out Joe Flacco. Chargers will go Vita Vea, defensive tackle from Washington. Seahawks go pass rusher, Harold Landry. Cowboys go Cortland Sutton, wide receiver. Leighton Vander Esch, linebacker, goes to the Lions. Bengals then take Jair Alexander, the cornerback from Louisville. Then with the second pick that the Colts got in that trade, they will take Mike McGlinchey, the offensive tackle from Notre Dame, kind of help Andrew Luck out. We'll see if he's throwing a real football by then. Then we have our ring fifth quarterback off the board. Lamar Jackson falls, goes to number 23, right to where you want him to go. New England Patriots at number 23 get their guy. Then the Panthers go Calvin Ridley. The Titans go Daron Payne. Falcons go friend of the show Mo Hurst, defensive lineman from Michigan. The Saints, they'll go with Dallas Goedert, tight end from South Dakota State. The Steelers go Justin Reed, safety from Stanford. Jaguars go DJ Moore, wide receiver from Maryland. Ring, we have our third and final trade of the first round. The Chargers move into the first round, trading with the Minnesota Vikings. Vikings at this point thinking, you know what? We really need an offensive tackle, but looking at Martinez Rankin and Orlando Brown, do we really want to use the pick on one of them, or could we get one of these other teams to give us some more capital, and we can address that later in the draft with some more needs? So they will get some more picks later in the draft. They will give their first rounder to the Chargers, and the Chargers, jumping ahead of the Broncos because they don't want him to take them, will take Mason Rudolph, the sixth quarterback of the first round. Patriots then go Connor Williams out of Texas, and the Eagles rounded out Orlando Brown, offensive tackle from the Eagles. And this is my final 6.0, my final mock draft with trades. Don't forget with trades for the NFL draft. What are you thinking, Brandon? After it's all said and done, it's all out there.
Well, I'm thinking after it's all said and done, again, even though I said it in our quarterback segment that I think, Josh Allen will be the first one to go to the Browns, I still don't want that to happen. I don't want it to happen. Like I said yesterday, they should go with Darnold. They will go with Allen. No, they should go with Saquon. They will go with a quarterback. And, it is what it is. But I've held to that thought for a long time. Some people in Cleveland would be like, yeah, you're right. And then a lot of other people would be like, no, we need a quarterback. But I am interested in, and now this isn't much, but there's really, after Saquon, I didn't hear you say any other running back.
Nope, I got all the running backs second and beyond.
And I'm interested in that. Like I was waiting for you to say it for the Lions. I was waiting for you to say Darius Geis with the Lions. Especially because when we've talked running backs, we've talked about how some, it's Saquon Barkley, yes, over here, but then with still good talent is like Darius Geis and, some other guys, Sony Michel, stuff like that. But so many offensive tackles, I feel like, so many defensive guys. There were you had no space for another running back in the first round.
Here's the thing, and this is the tricky thing about the running backs, is if I'm the Lions, do I waste that first round? And waste is kind of a negative word to use, but I'm going to use it. Do you waste that 20th pick to take a stab on that running back?
Yes.
When, for me, the running backs are kind of similar to the quarterbacks. When we did the live mock draft where a bunch of us got different teams and we kind of put on our GM hats for that, like the Browns with the quarterback, I did what you said they should do. I went Saquon number 1 because when Sean was like, why are you not going quarterback? You need a quarterback. I sat there and said, you guys decide who you want. I'll take whoever's left. I don't care. I love all. Give me anyone in the top 5. I love them. Like Josh Rosen, the only reason he's at 4 is because of the stuff that Jim Morris said. I'm not really on board with that. But if he's there and he's the one that's available, the best available, it's not like I'm going to say, oh, Josh Rosen, get away from me. No, get on my team because you're one of the most pro-ready quarterbacks in this draft. Same thing with the running backs for me. Like, the Lions could take Darius Geis, but also, and this is another thing with the draft, kind of pushing your luck. Could you get are you sold on, I need to take Darius Geis in the first round? Or, hey, in the third round, if I get a Nick Chubb, I really like Nick Chubb also, and I'm using a third rounder, and in this first round, I can get a guy like Leighton Vander Esch or like a wide receiver or something that can help me out in a different area and get a guy I really like in the third.
For the Detroit Lions, though, the way I look at it is what has been one of the things that has held Detroit back for a long time it's been the fact that they have no running game. They've had no running game for too many years now. And that's crazy to think because of what they had back in the day. But they're bad. That's what holds them back. If they could have a running back a really solid running back to complement Matt Stafford and a pretty darn solid wide receiver core, that could help put them over the hump. That could help put them over the hump in the NFC North. It could help get them to the playoffs and then hopefully help them through the playoffs, because I'm not saying that all they need is a running back and every problem is solved, but I think more so than defense, because I felt like the Lions came along well this past year defensively. I thought their secondary was stronger. I think they had a better pass rush. I think, though, that without having a running back or a good running back that is going to be able to effectively run the ball, they've been going by this 4-headed committee. You have, 5 carries in the game. You have
Zenner,
11.
Abdullah,
I mean,
Riddick.
that's how you could clear that all away with 1 pick in the first round. And if they did that, I think that they would find themselves in a really good spot moving forward.
Question, though.
Yeah.
And this is very... the question I'm going to ask you is very what came first, the chicken or the egg type of a question. Is it running back that's the problem, or is it O-line that's the problem? That's the one thing that I've been seeing about the Lions is, yeah, the run game is terrible, but is it the running back's fault, or is it because they have no help on the offensive line? Kind of the same thing of what came first, the chicken or the egg. Do you fix the running backs, or do you fix the offensive line?
I think when healthy, the Lions' offensive line has been fine, but they haven't been healthy. That's been the problem for them. But I do think, though, that having a running back that's going to consistently, again, be carrying the football, and a guy who's built to carry the football for an entire game, instead of these guys who are, they're like half a game type of guys. They'll have like a great first half or no first half and a great second half, but you don't see that throughout. You don't see them consistent throughout the game, really being able to hold up for an entire game, which is why they have 4 different running backs that they're toting out there throughout the game all the time. If they could have one guy right there, I'm thinking if you go running back and you are able to get like a Darius Geis, as I've been saying, you're getting a different version and a solid version of what Leonard Fournette is. And we saw what he did with the Jacksonville Jaguars. We saw how much better he made the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm not saying that if they get Geis, they're going to the playoffs and making a big run and possibly going to the Super Bowl in this first year. But
was pretty good too.
My gosh, yes. But what I'm saying is that
was a 3-year process.
But he certainly helped. He certainly helped their offense. So I think that if you pair him,
kind of hid some of the deficiencies of Blake Bortles.
And I think that this would help Matt Stafford. So he doesn't feel as much on his shoulders, like, oh, I have to make another comeback because But it's just, to me, I thought that was interesting that only one running back was named in the entire first round.
Well, and also the thing about this that you got to remember is this one is what I think is going to happen. I just don't think the Lions are going to use that. The interesting one is the Steelers could also do that because of the Le'Veon Bell situation. Yeah. And one of the reasons why I made that trade between the Niners and the Cardinals is because, like, the Niners, they could go and say, we're going to stay. We'll take a Tremaine Edmonds. We'll take a Josh Jackson. But if they can move back, get more picks, John Lynch did that last year when he traded with the Bears, when he's like, oh, no, I'm going to take Mitch Trubisky. And Mark kind of hates that I keep saying that the Bears got fleeced, but they did. That's just what I feel because the Niners were not. I get the point of Mark says, if you like your guy, you got to move up and get him. I'm the kind of guy that sits there and says, if the team right above you is not going to take him, why are you moving up to take him? Just take him where you're at. But that's besides the point. So, I mean, them moving back, they can still get Rashaan Evans because we don't know what's going on with Reuben Foster. We don't know what's going on with his situation. John Lynch yesterday came out and said, if he hit a woman, he's gone. If he hit a woman, he's cut, and that's how it should be. Just saying, that's how it should be.
Yeah, tell Jerry Jones.
Yeah, tell Jerry Jones that. But this is my final mock draft before we get to Thursday. This is what I think will happen, my prediction for what will happen Thursday. So let me know what you guys think of the mock draft. Let me know what you guys think. You also got my answer, though, too. 6 quarterbacks are going in this first round. 6. And the order of them will be Allen, Darnold, Mayfield, Rosen, Jackson, Mason, Rudolph will be at the end. So let us know what you think down below in the comments section.